Welcome to The Fifth Estate, a conversation between young African scholars from the Fort Hall School of Government and Professor Mutahi Ngunyi. Today we present the first presidential debate for the 2017 Kenyan elections. And for purposes of saving time, we will interview the candidates listed in the National Record of Kenyans Who Are Serious. There are only two: President Uhuru Kenyatta and the Right Honorable Raila Odinga. But we will include one person who is on the waiting list of this book of serious people, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka. The interviews are exclusive sessions generated from the utterances of the candidate's history.
Can you tell us, President Kenyatta, why should we re-elect you? What have you done to deserve re-election? Is this a bad question, or is it a bad question?
Cicero, writing in 64 BC, said that it is better to make a promise and break it than not to make one at all. And a master of campaigning promises everything to everyone, but only lives up to those promises that benefit him. Mr. Odinga, was Cicero describing you, or was he describing President Kenyatta? Mr. Odinga, what is your agenda for this country? What will Kenya receive out of an Odinga presidency?
Although, Honorable Kalonzo, you're on the waiting list in the National Book of Serious People, why should we vote for you as president? Why do you want to get back into government?
I have suffered enough as a person. Yeah, I don't think it is fair. It is not fair. So we must allow justice to reign and the true leadership to also emerge. But I think as a person, at my age now, I don't think I can afford any more political games. Thank you.
Debate verdict on candidate agenda for Kenya. Uhuru Kenyatta, he has a great agenda, but too many bells and whistles, both internally and from opposition. Raila Odinga, he is ungradable. In his 40 years of opposition politics, he's never revealed his agenda for this country. Kalonzo Musyoka, pitiful. He wants us to make him president because he has suffered. And this is why we will now excuse him from this debate.
In Aristotle's book, The Rhetoric, he states that exaggerations, otherwise known as a hyperbole, shows vehemence, frustration, and anger for the people who use them. Raila is known to use this Aristotle's method of exaggeration. The question for you, Mr. Odinga, is this: is corruption more rampant within the current Jubilee government compared to previous governments, or is this a political exaggeration created by you? President Kenyatta, you look like you want to go first.
Show me an administration since independence that has taken action on corruption like I have done. I've done my part. At great expense, political also. This is just a political circus. Corruption is just being used as a political circus. How many cases are before the courts of law? Now, do you expect me, what do you want, to go and set up a firing squad at Uhuru Park so that people can be happy? Are we not a country that respects the rule of law?
Mr. Odinga, do you want to add anything?
Have you ever had to pay a bribe to get something done?
The question is when. It's not if. Because as you have rightly said, every Kenyan does it.
Including the former Prime Minister has to, just to get certain things done bureaucratically.
Certainly. Not as a Prime Minister.
Not as Prime Minister, but as a former Prime Minister, even you've had to give a bribe. Wow. Sarah Elderkin, sent you an email in 2011 where she described the people around you, quote, playing major roles, people who are playing major roles who are irredeemably corrupt, she said. She talked about your office staff's blatant, well-known, all over town corruption. That's one of your closest friends, a woman who helped you write your memoir, emailing you to say, Raila, the people around you are all corrupt.
Yes, and this was good because she was basically blowing the whistle.
And then you sacked all those people the next day when you got the email, right?
I sacked a number of them.
Who did you sack?
Quite a number were
Who did you sack?
suspended.
How many sackings did you do?
Quite a number were.
Raila admits to participating in corruption. He bribed. He also admits that while in government, the people around him were corrupt. And so, is he pretending to be holier than thou? Is this sheer politics?
This is a question for Raila Odinga. Will you concede to defeat if you lose the 2017 election? In asking this question, I'm inspired by Joseph Stalin, who said that people who cast the votes decide nothing. The people who count the votes decide everything. Is this your inspiration also? And is this why you have commissioned a German outfit to run parallel tallying system for the 2017 presidential results? Are these the results that you intend to announce should they differ with the IEBC results? So will you, Mr. Odinga, accept the results if you lose?
A new set of leaders to take us to the next level has been thwarted by another tainted election. We will therefore shortly move to court to challenge the outcome that the IEBC announced a few hours ago. Kenyans are deeply disturbed and angered by the attempt of this government to steal this election through a process that was fraudulent at every step of the way. They have elected me as the president. Moi has desperately manipulated the Electoral Commission to rig election in his favor in order to declare himself the president. We categorically reject the provisional results of the presidential elections.
But of course, the independent commission that looked into the 2007 election said that there was vote rigging on both sides. Aren't you just annoyed that you're not as good at vote rigging as your opponents?
Actually, I'm proud that I'm not as good in vote rigging. Actually, I'm proud that I'm not as good in vote rigging.
Raila admits to rigging, but conveniently thanks God that he is not as efficient at rigging as the government sharks. Bottom line, he rigs and he knows how to rig. And so I ask, who is this man?
According to some great thinkers, politics is a game of thieves where those who stay in it for too long are robbed. A politician is no different from a gangster. For both, the end justifies the means. Politicians are incapable of truth. It has been said that if you ever injected truth into politics, you have no politics. You promise to build bridges even where there is no river. But surely you must have some redeeming qualities. So one last question for you both. What positive things can you say about each other truthfully?
That is what the man is, a bully. Kila siku akienda, ule mtu anataka kufurahisha hata mbele afurahishe Muafrika, anataka kufurahisha mzungu. Anataka kufurahisha mzungu. Oh, you see, we do not have the capacity. We want foreign judges to come and do our business for us. Oh, you know, we don't have the investigative capacity. We want foreign investigators to come and do it for us. If we don't have the capacity, build the capacity, Mr. Odinga. Na mimi sitachoka kumwambia hivyo. Sitachoka.